Have you ever wondered if a child born into extreme poverty could one day change the course of history? Imagine a small wooden cabin standing alone in the middle of a forest. There is no electricity, no television, no internet. There are only trees, cold winters, and long days of hard work. Inside the tiny cabin lives a boy who owns almost nothing. He has no expensive clothes. He has no classroom. He has only one dream to learn. That boy would grow up to become one of the most respected leaders the world has ever known. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Many people remember him as the president who helped end slavery in the United States. But before he became a leader, he was simply a curious child who believed that knowledge could change a person's future. Today, we will follow his incredible journey from a poor farm boy to a man whose courage inspired millions. So, relax, listen carefully, and let's travel back to the early 19th century, a humble beginning. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Kentucky. His parents, Thomas and Nancy Lincoln, worked hard every day just to survive. They owned very little, but they believed that honesty, kindness, and hard work were more valuable than money. From an early age, Abraham helped his family. He carried water from nearby streams. He chopped wood for the fire. He planted crops and cared for farm animals. Life on the frontier was never easy. Some winters were freezing. Some summers were filled with difficult work from sunrise until sunset. But even after a long day, young Abraham always searched for something to read. Books were rare. Whenever he heard that someone nearby owned one, he was willing to walk miles just to borrow it. He treated every book like a treasure. Instead of reading quickly, he read slowly, thinking carefully about every sentence. He wasn't just memorizing words. He wanted to understand ideas, a loss that changed everything. When Abraham was only 9 years old, tragedy entered his life. His mother became seriously ill. In those days, medical care was limited, especially for families living far from towns. Despite everyone's hopes, she passed away. The small cabin suddenly felt empty. Abraham missed her deeply. She had encouraged him to be kind to others and to keep learning, no matter how difficult life became. For months, sadness filled the family. Then, about a year later, Abraham's father married again. His new stepmother, Sarah, brought warmth back into the home. She noticed Abraham's love for reading almost immediately. Instead of telling him to spend every hour working, she encouraged him to study whenever possible. She even found more books for him. Many years later, Abraham would say that she had one of the greatest influences on his life. Sometimes a single person's encouragement can change another person's future forever. Learning without a school. Abraham spent very little time in a classroom. Altogether, he received less than a year of formal education. Yet he never accepted ignorance as his destiny. He became his own teacher. He practiced writing on wooden boards because paper was too expensive. He solved mathematics problems using pieces of charcoal. He copied sentences over and over until they became easy to remember. Whenever neighbors discussed history, politics, or religion, Abraham listened carefully. He asked thoughtful questions. People soon realized that the quiet farm boy had an unusually curious mind. As he grew older, he also discovered another talent. He loved telling stories. Whether he was entertaining neighbors after work or making friends laugh during long evenings, Abraham understood that stories had power. A good story could teach a lesson. A good story could comfort someone who was hurting. And a good story could inspire people to believe in something greater than themselves. Without realizing it, he was practicing the communication skills that would later make him one of history's greatest speakers. A world bigger than the farm. As a young man, Abraham began traveling beyond his small community. He worked different jobs to earn money. He split logs for fences. He helped transport goods by river. He met people from many backgrounds and listened to their experiences. During one journey, he witnessed something that deeply disturbed him. He saw men, women, and children being bought and sold as slaves. Families were separated. People were treated like property instead of human beings. The sight stayed in his memory for years. Although he was still a young man without political power, he quietly promised himself that such injustice should never last forever. That promise would shape the rest of his life. A new dream. Abraham eventually settled in the growing state of Illinois. There, he began thinking about a different future. He no longer wanted to spend his entire life doing physical labor. He wanted to understand the law. He wanted to solve problems fairly. Most importantly, he wanted to serve his community. But there was one obstacle. He couldn't afford law school. So he chose the only path available. He taught himself. Night after night, he borrowed law books and studied until late in the evening. Sometimes he read by candlelight, sometimes by the fire. Every page brought him one step closer to his dream. He believed something simple but powerful. Your circumstances may shape your beginning, but your choices shape your future. That belief would soon open the door to a remarkable new chapter in his life.